Hello. This is the 221st edition of Catch of the Day, available on the Branch Talk YouTube channel. Today we're going to continue reading from a book written by Doug Mitchell entitled The Four Carpenters, the Ensign, the Time of Jacob's Trouble, and the First Deliverance. Starting at the top of page 60 we read, "And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, is fallen." Revelation 18, verse 1 and 2. The fallen churches that constitute Babylon will first fall when they make the local Sunday laws. In the Assyrian period, while Babylon is sitting on the heads, and will fall a second time when she causes the Sunday laws to be worldwide in the Babylonian period. When the term Babylon will include all false religions, not just false Christianity. Just as national apostasy will be followed by national ruin, so with international apostasy will be followed by international ruin. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Revelation 13, 15-17. This drastic decree of the two-horned beast, the Assyrian, the king of the north, shall be adopted by the nations of the world. And the image of the beast, which will demand obedience to an ecclesiastical form of worship, will be internationally set up. The mark of the beast, Sunday observance, when God's people are restrained from buying and selling, their only source of sustenance will be through divine providence. One way or another, for that short time, God will provide and care for his people. But it may be in a similar circumstance as in the wilderness journey. The time is not far distant when, like the early disciples, we shall be forced to seek a refuge in desolate and solitary places. As the siege of Jerusalem by the Roman armies was the signal for flight to the Judean Christians, so the assumption of power on the part of our nation in the decree enforcing the papal Sabbath will be a warning to us. It will then be time to leave the large cities, preparatory to leaving the smaller ones for retired homes in secluded places among the mountains. Testimonies to the Church, Volume 5, page 464, 465. 2 Shepherd's Rod, 110. Therein we find some of the most important statements concerning the events that precede the setting up of the kingdom in the land. He points out that the two-horned beast's decree enforcing the papal Sabbath comes before it is adopted by the nations of the world and the image of the beast, and before the deliverance that results in the saints receiving the power and glory wherewith they, as the ensign, are enabled to frighten the Assyrian, causing him to flee the land. We say that those Sunday laws come before the kingdom because the saints at the time the two-horned beast, the Assyrian, the king of the north, enforces his decree, are having to leave the large cities preparatory to leaving the smaller ones for retired homes in secluded places among the mountains. Thus they are not yet in the promised land, when the local Sunday law yoke is placed upon them. The phrase, the glorious holy mountain, cannot designate the church, for the context of the verse does not support the notion. On the contrary, it clearly shows that the king of the north is to go forth from the glorious land, Palestine, and plant his tabernacles in the glorious holy mountain, while other scriptures show that the Lord is to return to the glorious land and plant his tabernacles in Zion, the holy mountain. Zechariah 1:16, 2:10-13, and 8:3. So since both tabernacles cannot be in the same place, and since the Lord's is to be in Jerusalem, obviously, therefore, the glorious holy mountain where the king of the north is to plant his must be elsewhere. 5a. 91. What we find there is that the king of the north, the Assyrian, goes forth from the promised land because the Lord has returned there. Again, what is it that causes the Assyrian to flee the land? The ensign, the Lord's sword, the voice of the Lord, the anointing, the 4 carpenters. If Florence Hotter and those with her had understood this aspect, she never could have believed that they would be delivered into the kingdom in 1959, because there were no national Sunday laws at that time, nor had the circumstances arisen that had caused them to leave the larger cities, let alone the smaller ones, for secluded places from where they would be delivered. Interesting. Take care.